Alright people, we're rounding out 2020 by looking at Jacob's Twitter. We're going to be covering November and December in this video. This is in case he deletes it as he's been threatening to do. This profile is for 21 over only. I'm only here if I'm drinking like a thirsty fish. I don't see my huggy soft Azrael anymore. I'm shutting this profile down at the end of the week. I give up. Anyone wants me, they have to be local and within a mile of my location. This profile is blocked by the reason it exists in the first place. Quick, and the secondary reason is also gone. Sunday, this profile will be gone. No one on here is ever going to become real. I'm shutting it down tomorrow night. Social media is stupid. It never means real people in my area. I'm done with distance. Yelling at idiots is kind of okay. Boring that my usual compy places never plan meeting dates. If Trump doesn't declare war on the satanic left, I will abandon him. God is my leader, and I obey his holy commandments. We must fight for freedom at all costs. The Satan left must be destroyed utterly. Not even their ashes should remain. Cast into the sun all that is evil and against the godly right. Banish and conquer all satanic leftist states and wipe them clean of their evil filth. Declare war, O holy God Trump. Save the earth from the devil and his evil ways. End the lockdowns by force. I've been to a red dwarf once before. I'm glad I don't live on an eyeball Earth. Such a planet never supported advanced life. If the start is like this, the planet never had a chance. Red dwarf stars can't sustain life. They're too active. If you want to find complex life, orange dwarfs, 0.3 to 1.6 solar mass stars will consistently host complex life. Ice shell worlds host bacteria, but you'll need the stars for complex life. Red dwarfs can host life with their flares. They burn off atmospheres too quickly. I believe he meant can't. A couple days later, after threatening to destroy his Twitter account, he posts, "I'm still around. I just checking in. I have a massive war to fight. If Trump call his men to action, I'm there. I already know the results. Freedom died. If there are riots, I'll provide eggs for throwing. I'm not handing out rocks. I plan to throw eggs. I'll let the criminals for the bricks for me." Watching Gino Samuel's latest update, and crying, seeing her, meaning Chris, life be destroyed when I was her only true friend ever. She pissed it away, not listening to my practical advice mixed into the merged jargon. I'm getting my life back, and my best friend forever, brother forever, TG Aspair, is back in alignment. It's amazing how the universe works. No matter what happens between me and TG Aspair, I never cut off my brotherhood with him. We have each other's backs no matter what. I have him no matter what happens. I never back out of my loyalties. We will end those that attempt to pry into my brotherhood. We are working hard to stop the evil behind the fake-epidemic. The virus attacks those who have sinned against the high God in heaven. We will have victory. Jacob quote tweets Donald Trump and says, "You are my God. Declare a holy war and save humanity from young people. Raise the voting age to 30. We gotta shut down the blue wave of stupid. They are thieves, and in our nation we curse thieves. Since you are God, you answer my prayers with action on this plane of reality. You are God. Biden is Satan. Read your Bible and obey God in that book. Cast the serpent out. There are no laws in warfare. Praise holy God." New powers. I wish my legs were so smooth and sensual. I have beautiful legs too for a dude. Below are pictures of Jacob's legs. I voted for my freedom of choice in both 2016 and 2020. I will fight in the Civil War should one be waged. Chris Chan missed out of true love, drove me away. Daddy loves it when I test his ribs in my massive embrace. I have done a ton of research and my student is now gone. I would go with him to Africa to break the law. I have a new coven kind of set up. I have figured out what my occult power is probably for. There's not one person on earth who can do what I do. I'm a locked door and many keys can open me. Through all my years of practice, I've been opened by many keys. Daniel, Barissa, Falcon, Jacoba, Mishiro, so many keys. I just need a key worthy of my potential. I'm necessary for any ritual using my powers as the door, because I am the door. Your soul is the key to open your realms through me. Maybe it's possible to break the matrix. Science does agree that reality could be a simulation. If reality is a simulation, then magic is like using a game genie on reality. Break the game and stop it. Edit and remove the last 16 months and delete SARS-CoV-2 from the simulation altogether. This is about obtaining a path on a new alpha timeline where there is no virus. I need to find the right key for this path. Maybe this key has returned into my life among all those that have come back after praying to AA Exaule 2 weeks ago. This is a stolen election. I'm ready for civil war. For a certain mommy to hug and hold nice and tight, I love the tightest hugs. Pick me up and swing me around like the little boy I am. Find this boy on Facebook and see my joyous smile like a child opening presents on Sockmas, not Christmas Day. Extra hugs for Mommy. Chris Chan, you are cursed to be forever alone, unless they are your victim. A cat with a mouse, the curse is set. You dare tease a lion proud and strong, beautiful and gorgeous? The curse is locked in stone. The dimensional merge is slammed shut, like a Bible after a lengthy exorcism. The earth shall be purified of your evil paths. I burned out your merge. It'll never come. Your load is lost forever and cast into the flames. Twitter user 20 the Jester says, Hail Luaya. Blood sigils with blood runes. Testing these runes. Below are 9 pieces of wood chips that Jacob has written on in some blood, I assume? I just got the check. That loser GiBi bought the hard copy. He has none of the Chris Chan related additions to the book, about 40 pages worth. This is the only way he got the book, was to buy the 2016 edition hardcover. When it comes time to get the 2020 version with the Chris Chan content, it'll be hundreds of dollars, enough to forever stop you from wanting to get it. This is in reference to me. I said in one of my Jacob videos that I had obtained a copy of his book. I explicitly said in that video that it was leaked to me by some of the Chris Chan White Knights that Jacob gave the book to for free because he's a moron. So no, Jacob did not get a check for me buying a hardcover copy of his book. I will come after the trolls for the slander of my books, knowing it was Pan Mythica 1, Occult Practices of Kitasuna that sold. GiBi will now have to lie about it to make me look bad, because several lessons are pure. He can't paint me in an accurate light. I'm finding grounds to come after him. You can't stop me. I have a right to create my content and I will resist, infinitely. You're getting closer to where I can do something. I will come after the trolls for the slander of my books. Knowing it was Pan Mythical 1, Occult Practices of Kitasuna that sold, GiBi will now have to lie about me to make me look bad, because several lessons are pure. It is very weird that he started and ended this tweet thread with the exact same worded tweet. The reason I haven't really covered Jacob's books yet is because they're full of nonsense. Imagine just someone describing something like Lord of the Rings lore to you with no story, and it's just a bunch of fantasy words. First there were mermaids, and then 100 years later the mermaids were defeated by Groggeting the Sandwich Bag. A year after that, Groggeting the Sandwich Bag was taken over by the gnomes of the Elf Forest. It's like literally just nonsense. Nothing on here is real. Nothing on here ever pushes for real life. I may fully move back to Facebook. I don't see any reason to keep a profile here anymore. A mommy hug. Sweet and full of innocence. I don't really ask for much, but a safe place to be comfy and warm. She hugs like a real mom. I want to know your hugs and what they say to me. How comfy is your cuddles, Warlock Prince 1. Twitter girl Goddess Chelsea says, if you retweet me, I'll assume you're flirting with me. Jacob retweets this and says, I can hug this one with room to spare. I have to keep my dragon hugs reserved. I blocked Chris Chan this time. She can't come back now. Nothing evil can return. She was probably hacked specifically to unblock me. If you trolls want action, in person only. Let me blow my nose on you. I'm considering overhauling the prophecy books since the lesson plan does exist teaching how to perform all the spells. No need to keep all the instructions on each spell. I will be releasing concept layouts for the spells. So much more to do. The plan is to recreate the full course material for Pan Mythica, the entry level for those who plan to study the culture and history of the Rocat. The following is from a dialogue that Jacob posts on his Reddit account. This one is between him and Necodema. Jacob, I have something else. If me and Christine meet up and move in together, can we save humanity? Necodema, yes you can. There is a disaster that if the dimensional merge were to continue, it will happen no matter what. Every timeline has humanity dying in spring of 2020. If the dimensional merger happens, humanity is deleted. For the merger to be repaired, I do see one path. Christine moves to California and completes the spells before 2020. Jacob, this is way too soon. Christine is just a friend and big sister. She is not going to move here. Necodema, if she does not, Earth will be destroyed. I am seeing one other path to save Earth. This involves the worst. A sex spell? This was part of Jacob's plan to force Chris to move in with him, or have sex with him. It's great. So Jacob is now saying, this is part of a session with Necodema from July 2019, back when I was planning my train trip. Christine killed her own dimensional merge by failing to put forth the work needed to do the original sequence of spells. I have since deleted blueprint for the merge and all documents about it. I hope she has a backup plan. I can't help her now. The merge failed completely. We didn't fix it, and now COVID-19 is loose. She led to this first disaster. I just crushed China. I will be crushing the rest of the world for the failed lockdowns, which should be banned. Masks should be banned as well. Ban all restrictions and curfews. Everyone who will be sick will get sick, and everyone who will die will die. Nothing can stop it now. It is actually kind of frightening that he said that by spring 2020 the world will end if he doesn't meet Chris. and then he didn't meet Chris, and that's when COVID, hit America? That's kind of crazy. I'm writing the cover text for my books. I'm going to release the books at an insanely high price. If you want them, you'll either pay hundreds of dollars, or release your home address for my proof copy price of under $30. My lesson books will be students only. Given that GiBi has bought the old published version lacking any Christian content, I will release the new version at $666.66 unless they are a practicing student, where they will receive the proof copy price of under $40 and around $10 for source book material. GiBi can review the dated material. I made it public for a reason anyways. Christian doesn't want to work for power, and I don't care what the 2016 version says. I have sacrificial methods described so the stupid will go to jail for murder. I actually don't know if the version I have is the 2016 version or not. I also don't care if it covers Christian, because that's not why I want to read it. I have completed all the cover text to be used on all 35 books. I only have to find the money to order all the proof copies before the public can pay $666.66 for the books. Just kidding, only forbidden books will cost that much. I will list my Book of Shadows for $6,666.66, and not a penny less. If you want my deepest secrets, you better be willing to sacrifice for it. For the rest, the discount requires relocation to San Francisco, and being my student to get the proof copy purchase. Only firm believers who relocate can get the reasonable price. I was never going to make any money. Trolling me will cost you thousands. Pay full price or be my student in relocation. It's kind of sad actually. Jacob's been complaining that he doesn't make any real friends on Twitter. He just talks to them on Twitter and then they never come and visit him in real life. So him saying that you can get the book for cheaper if you come visit him is really just his sad way of trying to make a friend. My only rule is that any student wishing to study with me must relocate to San Francisco, California. The trolls bought History of the Rocket Empire. I'm glad he didn't buy Occult Practices of Kitasuna. I hear and obey only you, God. Never concede, for you are God and the second coming of Christ on earth. Declare war on the infidels. I'm going to make the Pan Mythica required reading. If you buy the Pan Mythica alone, you can just write your own spells anyway. I will pull all basic ingredients and leave special items intact. My books should be the intact Pan Mythica course as on Kitasuna as on Earth. What the trolls claim should matter. Christian is gone for good, and I won't welcome her back. I have my following, and any scholared reader would know what the material means, and that the history of Kitasuna is conflicting because it ranges in views. The troll bought the History of the Rokat Empire, and its view ranged from virginity to rape cults. Nothing in the book means anything about me at all. GiBi really can't say, because the book shows a wide range of views and stories from across Kitasuna. I bet he won't share the full content of the book, and only focus on the negative parts. I know for a fact, GiBi can't speak anything of the positive material. The history speaks of positive things, and he'll never speak of them. He's about slander and nothing else. I'll even unblock him to prove the point, so he sees he can't say anything positive about the book he bought. There's many missing chapters from what he bought. He has to have noticed there is no Christian material, since some has been added in the last 4 years. GiBi, the book you bought is just a chronological collection of stories that contain the history. Otherwise, the material was already free of charge. You should have checked the age of the books. Thanks for Thanksgiving dinner and a ticket to Virginia. Again, this is just his attempt to try to get me upset because, oh, he's going to buy a ticket to visit Christian with the money I gave him, despite the fact I didn't give him any money. Also, his whole thing about how the book isn't about him at all, because it's just the history of Kitasuna, doesn't make any sense because he's the only person who believes that it's actually the history of Kitasuna. Obviously, we all know that it's him being insane. I can't make PDF files, thus I can't publish. That ends me ever updating my books. The game is over. I'm never updating my books. I shut down the versions I had and can't update them, even if I wanted to. Just download a PDF editor, man. I'm very close to leaving Twitter, having failed to meet anyone in material. I don't want online, but material. I am now 206.4 pounds. I'm inching closer to my goal of 190 to 200. I'm only 6 pounds away. I might need to retake all my sexy poses soon. I'm never going to my ideal weight because I have loose skin. Below is a picture of Jacob on a scale. He has censored his penis, but left a lot open, so I will not be showing any of it. Once I get close to 190, maybe next summer, I'll see if I can push 180-190 range and look good in my short shorts. I'm a size 12, 13, 14 depending on brand, but 14 is getting loose across the board. Jacob tweets at CPU Garnet Heart, who's not someone I'm familiar with, but obviously they're interacting with Christian. Why am I blocked for no reason? Everything was good. I haven't updated my Google for weeks. I obtained the spell and it was different. The angels and the seals were changed for reals. My document had evil. The download was changed to holies. Magichan is real. Someone or something changed words on my online files, and I moved the corrected spell to my file. It read correctly, and I moved it to the master file. It read correctly, and I moved it to my master file. Trolls or just GiBi, not sure, but I know something is up. I've been praying to Magichan to fix my life over the last few weeks. Things are sorting out for me. Daniel Redding is gone for good. Daddy is back. Just small stuff I've been asking for. These things happen. Pray to Magichan. It works. I've done a lot of research recently and found Magichan to be able to replace several deities in my pantheon. I love shortcuts and it works. The Uresh for my direct power, and Magichan for family values. I see the balance forming. Every chance I get to watch some worthless piece of street trash die is better than sex. Sex is 15 minutes of pleasure. Watching a bum convulse till the life leaves their eyes can be an hour of gleeful pleasure. Try climaxing for an hour. Watching the convulsions while the plague rat's friend pleads for help in its drugged-out stupor. Nothing better than watching the show while my demons feed off the creature's life force. The blood sigils warm from the devouring of souls. Why care? I get nothing from them. They destroy gay Francisco, and taint the very soil with their demonic presence. Ashume Ayua must feed greedily upon the worthless. The homeless are a reservoir of plague and COVID-19. Saving them only feeds the virus more victims and hosts to die in. The war is against the Democrats, who harbor the homeless to breed the virus against the rest of humanity. OMG, if I met that boy at a bar, he wouldn't be single anymore. I sport that pendant so sexy-like. Below are 4 pictures of Jacob in a hat wearing his Sonichu medallion. I'm planning to move out of San Francisco. My only reason to say is gone. Warlock Prince is gone now. Why stay in squalor? I can have greener lands with purity. Reopen the state, you filthy Nazi. Cursing Gavin Newsom. Order a full reopening. I can't undo what I've already done, but it'll only get worse over time. Don't trample my human rights. Grinch Newsom is cursed. Below is a picture of Gavin Newsom and 4 rocks because Jacob is apparently doing some sort of curse. On December 7th, he tweeted, "I am leaving Twitter in the next week. Since Chris blocked my accounts, I no longer need my accounts for lack of activity." This is over a month after he said he would delete it the last time. The private account is gone. If Warlock Prince doesn't come back, I'm shutting this account down as well in the next few days. I will be releasing the private Christian chats tonight on my subreddit. She said to keep my chats with her a secret, and she broke her own rule, thus voiding me keeping the chat secret on my end. There is no effing dimensional merge, and she changed it to dimension merge in recent times. Okay, let's DM later. I found something called the Dark Star Abyss. It is an escapable evil dimension. I'll probably use the Uresh spells for this on the Democrats. They aren't human to begin with. I plan to unleash unholy evil against them. If you can put me to bed, you can be my huggy place. I command you. You said you can make the trolls go away. Destroy them, and I will teach you the Uresh. F you, Nazi Newsom. You won't stop us from having underground parties. I wanted to quit Twitter. I got someone on here to talk to. Christian is dead to me now. I saw visions of the future. I saw my treatment, and I don't like it. Good night, student person guy. I love you, but I'm not traveling anywhere with you. Stateside or no deal. At Falcon. Falcon is the student who supposedly lives in Africa. Jacob wants to meet them, but apparently he's not willing to go to Africa to meet them, and is saying stateside or no deal. In case you're unaware, sometime this year we're going to be entering into the Age of Aquarius, which is something that happens every 2,000 or so years. We switch into a different age in the zodiac line. I don't really know how it works. I don't care. It's not real. Jacob says, I'll be taking part in my own way. I have big plans this time. I have tons of indexing to do, but I've finally broken the halfway point. I'm on page 1,840 on the logs. So much work to do, and so little time. I just want to go home. I never wanted to be on Earth. If you take me home, I'll build you a palace of gold. Solid gold. Gold is cheap on Kitasuna. It's copper for us. The palace of solid gold is yours if you get me home. Many super giant hugs for my buddies. I'm going to bed. I'm beyond drunk and gone. I need a mommy's hugs and lullabies of the great wars. Warm and soft. I fall asleep in tight hugs. Comfy. I hold on to you all tight and comfy. I'm opening up my student space to someone in the San Francisco Bay Area. To be my next student, you must relocate and know a print shop to print and bind the Pan Mythica, a feat I can't afford, so 2 copies will be need to made this time. Pan Mythica will never be taught online again. No persona I know on are close enough friends for such treatment. Follow the above and I will teach you in person only. You will need an empty room for a temple. The rest is cheap from that point forward. $500 will fill the rest. I had a false interview attempt today in a weak effort to steal my Pan Mythica books. I'll give the history, but now I know the Kiwi Farms only kept the first 4 books of 35 books. They only know the Puthidian faith. That is just Puthidian sex magic. The rest was up for over a year and they ignore it, because 2.1 was holy and they gave up. 3.0 on was also sacred. I put the bad in 6.0 on. Pen Mythica doesn't teach the dirt early on. You actually have to earn it now, since I know the truth. The part of Christian's path involves 6.0 books and the most powerful of dangerous magics. No one ever lasted the full lessons to reach those books. Takes a lot of work to get that far. Only true students will ever make it to the end. You trolls can never fake years of training. Give it up. GiBi bought the outdated Pan Mythica history of the Rokat Empire in softcover. I thought I bought it in hardcover, Jacob. Keep your fake story straight. He won't get the dirt, he thinks. He'll just find repeated stories, because it's a history book before you even read the full texted books. It's a teaching guide of history. I love you, Falcon. Do what you gotta do. Just leave me out of it. I can't stop you from using my spells. Nothing I can do to stop you. I'm maxed to an 8-mile loop. You can do as you please with my knowledge, because you're too far to walk to. The top map is from high school, and the bottom 2 are attempts to map cities on my homeworld. And below are 4 maps. I don't get it. My almost-to-be wife, Barisa, drawn 2007, Rokat, and exploring their anatomy. Below are 4 pictures of Rokat that, again, Jacob supposedly drew. The 2 grumpy ones are Jacoba. The next one are Lakisha Hadiz, a Rokat scientist from a long time ago, and my current teacher, Mishiro Hudakai. And of course, there are 4 more Rokat pictures. I took some cutie photos. Christian will never get this in her arms. She'll rape me and take advantage of me. I'm too sweet and kind. She had her chance and blew it. I'm single now, looking for those comfy hugs like a ship at storm seeks a safe harbor. I got a new onesie that makes my body feel very soft and comfy to hold nice and tight. I love being held nice and tight, all comfy in a strong man's arms holding my 206-pound of baby snuggles. It's a child size. I'm very little, and my onesies are children-sized. I'm child small for those comfy hugs. Kermit the Frog couldn't tell the difference and did the Chris kink to the Chris tink. It takes a lot of love to love a soft woman. Miss Piggy has the better body. Don't be fooled by imposters, Kermit. Remember, one smells like a pig, the other smells like a pig CAFO. And below are 2 images, one of Miss Piggy and one of Christian. Gavin Newsom, he's the governor of California, is the embodiment of Satan on Earth. Anything he says is evil. We should all disobey for the sake of our souls. Open the churches and pray. Don't wear the mask of the beast. Get social and get healthy. Save your mind and soul for God in heaven. God will protect the holy and those worthy of heaven, for he will gift them long life and health. Don't worship Satan by obeying his demonic orders. Open everything, and ban face coverings, because only criminals wear them outside. Evil hides behind masks and deception. I curse Nazi Newsom all the way, and built an altar for cursing him lots more. Below are pictures of an altar that he made to Gavin Newsom, with a picture of him and burning candles and magic rocks. F you, Newsom. F the Nazis. Gavin Newsom is a Nazi. He steals freedom. Even stole Christmas. That's just about the most evil thing possible. Every witch on Earth should curse this Nazi with death. I cast more spells. Very cuddly little boy. Always baby snuggles. Comfy places. Most comfy in my onesie. Doing some last-minute curses on Gavin Newsom before Christmas. I have to take that day off from cursing. His life and his house are cursed. Everything he loves is cursed. Demand he step down from office. The plague will find him. The day after Christmas, Jacob continues. It looks like a war is starting tonight. I get rid of Daniel Redding and thought I could finally retire from magic. An old enemy resurfaced after so many defeats. I'll crush her coven once again and decimate the houses involved. With the darkest of my enemies back in my life, I thought I could move on and sidestep that with getting some book art. Something to grab Hollywood to make a movie with my script. It's sad to see Amari give up her social media at a time like this. Another weird thing, I was about to buy some art from Amari Strawberry, to find she blocked me without reason the day I set up my PayPal to get it. I needed a gift for her birthday coming up. I'll just order from Etsy. She even poured orange and blue for me. I had a larger job for her if she lasted longer. I needed someone to illustrate scenes in my books. I can draw maps, but I don't have the fortitude to draw organics. My plan to flesh out my books more isn't likely to happen. I could fall asleep in those arms, all safe and warm like a little boy, a baby full of mommy's love. I'm watching Frosty the Snowman 1969. I feel my real age. I want to invoke some seriously dark forces. There's no future for humanity, so why care? I have learned and studied from Uresh. I'm thinking of a blood sacrifice to the evil god. Human rights are a thing of the past. If there is a way to summon the evil god, I will find it. If the world can be destroyed, now is a good time to attempt such spells. Biden is not my president. He is a dictator, and I will crush his nation. There's a darkness but it is pathetic. There's an evil called Ao Oja. That is the pinnacle of darkness. There is no life on Earth, so summon death replace it. Unleash the primordial chaos to replace a broken system. There won't be much content now. There is no one left now. Christian is done, and thus now you better leave me be. I worship dark forces and have no morality outside defending members of my species. My species has no trolls. I have no reason to care what becomes of this Nazi, Gavin Newsom. He chose his fate. I don't care what happens now. Your soul can be saved, Gavin Newsom, if you call off the fakademic and restore human freedoms in full. You have to call off the lockdowns and ban further lockdowns in the future. And that was the last post by Jacob Sockness as of December 27th, 2020. His Twitter profile picture is currently him hugging his Ganesh Huggy Bear. His banner is him voting for Donald Trump. His name is Right Eye of God, aka Tiny Trump. He claims his whole page is NSFW 21+. He claims he lives in Gay Francisco, California, USA. And of course, he keeps threatening to shut down his account. If it's still up in January, I'll keep updating you, but this is the end of this series for now. There will, of course, be more Sockness Files videos once I cover his Reddit and his books, so watch out for those. Thank you to my patrons, A Humble Narcissist, Angel, Ash Perler, Blue Coon, Elijah, Hunter, Jess, Jose, Joseph, Joshua, Caitlin, Randy, Shadow Nexus, Snotling, Steve, Torchka, and twitch.tv/SumaBreakup.